If your Social Security check is about to get bigger next year, you'd think that's a win. But before you celebrate, you need to hear the other side of this story because a bigger COLA might actually be a warning sign wrapped in good news. Here's what's happening right now. Estimates for the 2027 Social Security cost of living adjustment are landing somewhere between 3.5% and 3.6%. That would be the biggest bump in 4 years, and it would push the average retiree's monthly checkup by around $75. Sounds great on paper. Seniors got a 2.8% increase this year, so a jump like this feels like real relief is finally coming. But here's the catch nobody talks about enough. The COLA doesn't go up because the government decided to be generous. It goes up because prices went up. The whole reason your check is getting bigger is that inflation picked back up over the summer, and that same inflation is hitting your groceries, your gas, your utility bills, and pretty much everything else you spend money on every single day. So that extra $75 isn't a bonus. It's an attempt to help you keep pace with costs that are already eating into your budget right now before the raise even arrives. And there's a timing problem built right into the system. The COLA for 2027 is based on inflation data from July, August, and September of this year. But you don't actually see that money until January. So for months, you're paying today's higher prices while still living on this year's lower benefit amount. By the time the raise finally hits your account, prices may have climbed even further, which means the adjustment is always playing catch-up rather than getting ahead. Then there's Medicare. Part B premiums are expected to rise as well, and those premiums get deducted directly from your Social Security check before you ever see the money. So a chunk of that COLA increase could disappear before it even reaches your bank account. Some retirees have described this pattern before, where the raise looks good on the announcement, but once premiums and everyday costs are factored in, the actual boost to their spending power is much smaller than the headline number suggests. There's also a longer-term issue worth understanding. The Senior Citizens League has pointed out that Social Security COLAs often lag behind the real cost increases that seniors experience, especially in categories like healthcare and housing, which tend to rise faster than the overall inflation measure used to calculate the adjustment. So even a strong COLA year doesn't necessarily mean beneficiaries are fully caught up. It just means the gap might be a little smaller than it was before. So what should you actually take away from this? A bigger COLA is not something to dismiss, but it's also not something to celebrate without context. It's a signal that the cost of living is rising, and the increase is designed to soften that blow, not eliminate it. The real question isn't how big the percentage is. It's whether your monthly income, after premiums and everyday expenses, is actually stretching further or just barely keeping up. The official number won't be locked in until the Social Security Administration makes its announcement in October, so there's still time for these estimates to shift in either direction. If you found this breakdown useful, hit subscribe so you don't miss the moment the official 2027 COLA is announced, along with what it actually means for your monthly budget.